Hello, boys and girls. It's Wednesday, December 16th, and today this is our reading lesson. Okay, so this week we have been talking about telling time and different ways of keeping track of time, and that's our stories have been talking about time. Like Nate the snake, he didn't want to be late to his story hour, so he kept watching the clock and trying to get there. Then he was late, wasn't he? Okay, so today I want to review our vocabulary words first, and then we're going to read our big story today from our big book. So you're going to need your big reading book, and then you're also going to need this chart, this paper that has our chart, because we're going to be talking about beginning, middle, and end of our story. Okay, so first let's look at our words again we've been talking about this week. So we have the word immediately. Remember, if something happens immediately, it happens right now. Like that mouse went into his hole immediately when he saw the cat. Okay, and the next one was schedule. Schedule. A schedule is a timetable showing when things will happen. So we keep a schedule sometimes of when we're going to do things or when things are going to happen. And this is an example of like a bus schedule. So the bus, people can see what time they have to be there to get on a bus to go to a certain place. Okay, the next one is occasion. So right up here, occasion. An occasion is a special time or event. Like when we celebrate special things, it's an occasion. Okay, then we have weekend. Weekend used to be the days of the week where we don't go to school. This year it's a little bit different. But it's the days of the weekend, the days of the week where you don't have actual work on Seesaw. So that is a weekend. So usually it's Saturdays and Sundays are weekends. The S days. And then calendar. Calendar is a chart that shows days, weeks, and months in a year. You might have a monthly calendar or a weekly calendar or a yearly calendar. A yearly calendar would be a calendar with all the months on it. Okay, those are ways of keeping track of time, and those are just different words that have to do with time. Okay, so today I want you to go ahead and open up your reading book to On My Way to School. It's the big reading book. On My Way to School, and it's on page 6. It's the first story in the book. And then make sure you have a pencil with your chart. You can pause me if you need to so you can get it open and ready. Okay. So our story this week, let's just look at the title and the picture. So it's called On My Way to School by Wong Herbert Yi. But look at the picture. What can you tell me about it? Tell me something about the picture. Yes, it's all animals, isn't it? It's animals on the bus. So do you think this is nonfiction, a real story about real things? No, it looks like it's going to be a silly story, right? So we think it's going to be made up fiction, right? Fiction, but even made up to the point where it can't really be real, can it? Can a pig be wearing a wig and making a face like that? And a gorilla driving a school bus? So that means this kind of a story is a fantasy. Means it cannot really happen in real life. Okay? And now what we just did when we were looking at that picture is we were making predictions of what we thought about this story. When we predict, remember, we're looking at pictures and thinking about what it's saying, and then we're trying to kind of guess what's going to be happening next. So now when we read it, we can see if we were right. But we know it's fantasy. We know we're right because it's going to tell us it's fantasy here. But you did the detective work on your own first, didn't you? We looked and decided that before we looked over there. Okay, so I'm going to play this part. So it's going to say genre is fantasy. That's what it is.
Genre, fantasy. Essential question, how do we measure time? Read about the funny things that make a boy late for school.
I'm gonna move my speaker down here so you can hear it. Okay, so it's something funny. Some funny things are gonna make this boy late for school. All right, let's listen to the title.
On My Way to School by Wong Herbert Yi.
Okay. Now, this is a rhyming story. And so at the end of each line, like here's today and play, they rhyme. Today, play. And then look over here. We have pig, wig, and then bus, us. So it rhymes. It's going to have like a pattern, a rhythm. Okay, here we go.
On my way to school today, a pig asks me to come and play.
Okay, let's read that together. On my way to school today, a pig asks me to come and play. Is it fantasy already? Because can a pig ask you to play? No. So right there, it's already starting out as a fantasy. This is showing you the beginning of the story. This is the beginning of the story. And so is this. So all of this. So let's see what they do.
It's not just a pig. It's a pig in a wig. We run for the bus, just the two of us.
Okay, let's read that. It's not just a pig. It's a pig in a wig. We run for the bus, just the two of us. Okay, so when I start reading a story, I use clues in the text and in the illustrations or pictures to guess what might happen next. On these pages, I see a boy in a school bus. I can predict that the boy is going to ride the bus to school, yes. But there's also a pig in the picture. I predict that the boy might meet some other unusual characters on his way to school. Because if he's meeting a pig in a wig, he's probably going to meet some more animals, isn't he? As I read, I will check to see if my prediction is correct. All right, so this was the beginning of the story. So we're going to go ahead and put that onto our chart. This is getting us started in the story, and it's an important part of the story. So, okay, so we're going to take our chart. My chart disappeared, so I'll get it back up here. Okay, so for our chart, we need to put in the beginning what happens with the boy. Tell me who he meets and what happens. Right, he meets a pig, and the pig wants to play, right? The pig wants to play. But then they run and almost miss the bus. Okay, so we're going to say the, capital T, boy meets a pig who wants to play. Period. The boy meets a pig who wants to play. I'm going to get the next sentence in and then you can pause me, okay? So the boy meets a pig who wants to play, and then they what? They run for the bus. A new sentence, capital T, they run for the bus. Period again. Okay, make sure you have your spaces. You can go out of the box if you need to. That's okay. All right, pause me so you can finish the beginning. Okay, so you're ready to go back to our story. If not, make sure you pause me. There it is. I did have it. Okay. Okay, kind of look at the pictures a minute because there's a lot going on. So when you're looking at this, do you think the pig's going to get on the bus? And then you see him here, he is. So he did get to go on the bus. Look at what he's doing with his wig. And then here's what they come upon next. So we're looking and thinking about this. So what do you think, just without even reading it, what do you think is going to happen with these two guys, these gorillas? Or apes, I guess they're apes. If the pig got on the bus, what would you predict the apes are going to do? They might get on the bus too. Okay, let's see if that prediction is right.
Pig and I run fast, fast, fast. We get on the bus at last. Puff, puff. The bus zips away. Pig makes me late for school today.
Okay, so we have rhyming here. We have fast and last, away today. Okay, let's read it. Pig and I run fast, fast, fast. We get on the bus at last. Huff, puff, the bus zips away. Pig makes me late for school today. Okay, so Pig gets on the bus. Now let's see.
On my way to school, we pass a trash truck that ran out of gas. On top of that truck sit 2 apes and a duck.
So they ran out of gas, so they're stuck there. And so they're sitting on top of the garbage truck. So here's our rhyming. Pass, gas, and then truck, duck. Okay, let's read it. On my way to school, we pass a trash truck that ran out of gas. On top of that truck sit 2 apes and a duck. Okay, so we predict that. Remember, we predicted they're going to get on the bus because the pig did, right? Okay, so this is all in the middle of the story. Everything that's happening now is the middle. So we have to kind of remember everything that's happening. Okay. Oh, look. Did we predict right? Yes.
Apes and a duck hop in the bus. They sit down with the rest of us.
Okay, our turn. Apes and a duck hop in the bus. They sit down with the rest of us. So we have bus, us. Okay, make a prediction. What do you think might happen next? They might meet another unusual animal. Let's see.
Slip, flip, the bus zips away. Apes make me late for school today.
Okay, so we have away and today. Slip, flip, the bus zips away. Apes make me late for school today. Look at the poor doggy. He slips on the banana peel. The kids are eating bananas on the bus. So we have 2 of our word wall words this week, away and today, and they rhyme because look at the ending. They end with A-Y, A. Way day. Away today. Okay. predict, if you thought another animal, maybe predict what kind of animal. I know the title page kind of showed us some of the animals, so you might already know. Oh, frogs. Okay, let's see.
On my way to school, I see some frogs in a gumdrop tree.
On my way to school, I see some frogs in a gumdrop tree. See, tree. Oh,
Clip clop, the gumdrops drop. 2 frogs cut, 2 frogs mop.
plip, plop. The gumdrops drop. 2 frogs cut, 2 frogs mop. So they're cutting the gumballs out of the tree and mopping them up. Okay, so based on what the apes and the pig did, what's going to happen? Make a prediction. Did you say frogs are going to get on the bus? What do you think about the gumdrops? Because remember, if we looked at the illustrations back here, the kids were eating the bananas. So should we predict that the kids are going to eat the gumdrops? That would be a good prediction. Oh goodness. Okay, let's see.
Frogs hop in the bus. They sit down with the rest of us. Hip hop, the bus zips away. Frogs make me late for school today.
Okay, they do get on. Do you see anybody showing? It doesn't really show them giving the gumdrops away, so maybe it'll show us later. Maybe it won't. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. We just didn't see it happen. Okay, let's read it. Frogs hop in the bus. They sit down with the rest of us. Hip, hop, the bus zips away. Frogs make me late for school today.
Here we go, just one last stop. Frogs hop in the lake. Plip plop.
Oh, so the frogs got out. Here we go, just one last stop. Frogs hop in the lake. Plip, plop. Okay, so now in the middle of the story, what is happening? Which animals did what so far? Because we might want to start adding to our middle. After the pig, who gets on the bus? Let's think of that. Let's look at our chart. After the pig, who gets on the bus? Apes, the frogs, and who is with the apes? The duck. Okay, so we have apes, a duck, and frogs get on the bus too. So the pig gets on. Okay, so let's get that part written for the middle. So we're going to say capital A, apes, long A, so it has a magic E, apes, comma, a duck, comma, and frogs. Get on the bus. So far, that's what's happened in the middle. Okay, pause me to stop to finish that sentence because I'm going to keep going. Okay, we have also read that the frogs got off the bus, but let's keep reading to make sure. Maybe they all get off the bus, do you think? Because that might be a good prediction. So let's go back to our story now. Okay, so the frogs get out, plip plop. Oh, looks like the apes get off. Pig's still on. Okay, so let's listen to these 2 pages.
Duck is off to get some gas. Apes fish and nap in the grass.
Okay. Duck is off to get some gas. Apes fish and nap in the grass. So they got off. Duck's going to get gas for what? For the trash truck. And look at, can you see what the ape here is wearing? Is he wearing the wig? Okay, let's look here.
Tick-tock, the bus zips away. It looks like I am late today.
Uh-oh. Tick-tock, the bus zips away. It looks like I am late today. So tick-tock, that's like a clock sound, isn't it? Tick-tock, tick-tock. Okay, so it looks like they all get off the bus, but not the pig. Let's see. So let's add, that's the only other part we need to put for the middle. So let's go ahead and finish that up with our chart. Okay, so we have apes, a duck, and frogs get on the bus. And then we're going to say, then, with a capital T, the bus lets them off. Then the bus lets them off. It stops and lets them get off. Pause me if you need to, just finish that. Okay, so in the middle, apes, a duck, and frogs get on the bus. Then the bus lets them off. There were other little things, details that happened, like the frogs cutting the gumdrops, picking them up, the apes bringing bananas onto the bus. But we don't have to write every single little detail when we're looking at beginning, middle, and end. We're just looking at the important main events that happen. So at the beginning, the boy meets a pig who wants to play, and they run for the bus together, because that's showing they're together. Then in the middle, apes, a duck, and frogs get on the bus, and then they get off the bus. Okay, so now we still need an ending about whether this boy is late for school. So let's go back to our story now. Okay. Okay, and it's fun, really fun to look at the pictures. The pictures have so much more detail. So he and the pig get off the bus together, and then see this crocodile? And it says, beware of croc. There's gumdrops falling, there's banana peels. Okay?
Now the bus drops me off at school. I see a crocodile slink out of a pool.
What? Okay. Now the bus drops me off at school. I see a crocodile slink out of a pool. School, pool. Now, is this really happening? Is this boy really seeing all these things and that's what's making him late? Let's see. Let's see what the last page says.
I think it slid under the gate, and that, Miss Blake, is why I am late.
Okay. I think it slid under the gate. And that, Miss Blake, is why I am late. So, is that true? Well, look. They're standing there looking. Because this book is a fantasy, right? So it's not real. But that's what happened in the story. Okay, so this is our ending. The boy gets to school, And what does he do when he gets to school? He tells his teacher why he is late. Okay, so let's go back to chart. Okay, so let's say the bus, let's say the bus gets to school. I think the crocodile is a kind of an important event because it's another animal that he sees. So I'll try to keep it short. Let's just say he sees a croc because we know he's the boy. So that'll keep it short. We'll say he, capital H, sees a croc. Short for crocodile. Period. And then he tells his teacher why he's late. Capital H. He's is a contraction. He, apostrophe S. I know that gets kind of lines through it when you're trying to, whoops. Oh, nope, I can't move it up. It won't let me move. It only lets me move the paper. So go ahead and pause me so that you can see that and finish writing it. Okay. So look at all you wrote and be proud of that. Because at the beginning of the year, you would not have been able to write all of those sentences. So I'm going to read it again to you from my paper. So in the beginning, the boy meets a pig who wants to play. They run for the bus. In the middle, apes, a duck, and frogs get on the bus. Then the bus lets them off. Ending, the bus gets to school. He sees a croc. He tells his teacher why he's late. Then, do you think the teacher believed him? What do you think? Look at her face. My cord keeps getting behind my... There we go. So, do you think that she believed his reason for being late? He gives her what? Gumdrops from the gumdrop tree. I don't know. I think she might believe him. Her face looks like, oh my goodness. Right? Okay. Let's just take a peek. Okay, so we did, in our own words, we retold the story beginning, middle, and end. So let's see. What makes the boy late in the beginning? Think about the very beginning. What makes him late? The pig. The pig wants to play. So then they have to run for the bus. Okay, number 2. What does the boy do when he gets to school? He goes in and he tells his teacher all the things that happen and why he's late. Yes. Number 3, how can you tell that on my way to school is a fantasy? What makes it a fantasy? Fantasy means it can't really happen. What makes it a fantasy? All those animals getting on and off the bus and the way they were acting. Some had clothes on, the pig. Wearing a wig. Yes, all those things make it fantasy. And riding the bus, the crocodile hanging out. Yes, all of those were fantasy. Okay, and was time important in the story? Was the time important? Yeah, because he was trying to get to school, right? So he was really running late. Okay. All right, boys and girls, you did a great job. Tomorrow we're going to reread that story, okay? Now, on the back of that page, when you get off of here with me, here are some long A words, okay? So long A, so like late, okay? When you get off the video, I want you to go ahead and fill in these words into the sentences they go with. There are picture clues for you. You can see the whale. So a whale can swim would go here. Okay, you're going to fill this out on your own. Practice those long A words. Fill them out and send that to your teacher and your chart. Okay, did an awesome job. We're going to read that story again tomorrow. It's a fun one. And that is it for reading. Don't forget to do this side and send it to your teacher. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow for reading on Thursday. Have a great day. Bye.